This is us, Lynn and Graham, and this is our motorhome. We purchased it in early 2024 and with the intention of travelling our beautiful country, New Zealand. We still have our home base, but we intend to travel as much as we can throughout the year, probably at least 6 months. So we hope you join us on our travels. This is the final video of our motorhome journey around the Catlins area of the South Island of New Zealand. It's a very cool beech tree. It's hollow. Get right inside it and see people through it.
Hello.
I'm actually inside a tree. It's about a 10 to 15 minute walk through into the falls, but it's a beautiful walk through native bush. On our way to the falls here. It's very popular. The little tour bus has just pulled up and there's several other vehicles in the car park. The size of that tree that Graham's approaching now, massive, and it's hollow as well. This track is just beautiful. If ever you're in this area, I recommend a visit to this, even if it's just a walk down the track. The track into the falls is pretty much flat. There are a few steps to get down to the falls, but nothing too taxing, and it's certainly worth the effort. Right, getting closer to the falls now, I think. And here, rushing water. Just a slight decline, but I think it might get steeper. Looks like we made it down. So on to Purakaunui Bay. The road into the bay is shingle all the way, but it's a good road and there's no problems getting a motorhome or a caravan in there. The campsite is operated by the Department of Conservation, or DOC as we know it. There are toilet facilities, but for everything else you have to be pretty much self-contained. It was a bit difficult to find a flat space to park the motorhome, but we found a spot in the end. We are at Purakaunui, just off for a walk down to the beach, which is like 20-30 metres away from the motorhome. Amazing rock formations. The wind has etched these patterns, the wind and the sea no doubt, like big caves in the rock. These rocks are crazy. Time to move on now from Purakaunui Bay. We enjoyed our stay here and had a great time walking along the beach, scavenging, and yeah, it's a beautiful place. And it's off to the Mataura Falls, which didn't prove to be as spectacular as we would have liked, but still a lovely walk through the bush to get there. Again, a flat track with just a few steps. Line that way. That's the top end of the railway. Head off to the top end, see where it goes. Oh, there's a rimu tree, native rimu. This railway track was part of the Catlins River branch line, built in sections between 1879 and 1915 to service logging operations and sawmills throughout the area. Also a market day special every Tuesday to take passengers through to the township of Balclutha to buy supplies, etc. With the decline in logging in the area, the line was finally closed in 1971.
There we are, coming out into flatter ground again. Looks like it might be about the end of the trail. There's a gate, and that might be the end of it.
Out to the car park again and off to our next stopover spot, which was Papatowai. Again, the camp here is a Department of Conservation park. We stayed here for 3 days. In fact, it's a lovely spot. It has the benefit of good toilet facilities, and there's also a lovely cafe at the entrance to the park.
Papatowai, right at the bottom end of the South Island. And out there is the ocean, Pacific Ocean. And beautiful Purakaunui trees. Out here at the south end of Papatowai Beach, stepping out towards the Pacific, heading north, and this is the cliff at the end of the beach. The colours in these rocks is insane. It's a pale blue colour, blue-grey, in amongst the sandstone.
After our walk along the mouth of the river and around onto the beach, we decided to walk back through the native bush to the campsite.
Back out to civilization. And that's where we are. Almost back to camp. These are the amazing Purakaunui trees.
And back up these few steps to the campsite. It's a lovely campsite, very, very sheltered.
Just came down off the Catlins scenic highway on a side road to Curio Beach. Here we are at Curio Bay. It's a bit of a wild and windy day today, not too bad though. Looks like it might be raining in the distance. We'll wander down to the rocks and the beach and see what we can see. A bit hazy today, but it's a dead calm day, as you can see. Those flaxes are not moving at all. I'm standing on top of the point looking down. That's the motor camp where we stayed for the last 2 nights, and amongst all the flax bushes, so it's very sheltered. This is the Pacific Ocean, and down there is Antarctica. So we're right at the bottom of the South Island of New Zealand.
southernmost point in the South Island of New Zealand. There's a walk out to the actual point itself, but it's just flat across the paddock. It would be best to pick a calm day to do this walk.
Walking out to Slope Point. This is the southernmost point of the South Island. Straight down there is the Antarctic. And here we are at Waipapa Point. And there's a wee lighthouse here. Yeah, cute little lighthouse. Just keeping an eye out to see if there's any ships coming. Go up and turn the light on.
Now we're heading west across the bottom of the South Island, and this is the small town and port of Bluff. This is what I always considered was the most southern spot on the South Island, but as I learned on this trip, it's actually not. Short walk out to another little lighthouse at the opening of Bluff Harbour. In the distance is the tall chimney of the Tiwai aluminium plant.
Just walking up the track here at the Bluff Hill Lookout. It's obviously a communications point as well for the town of Bluff and Invercargill. Looking out over Bluff Harbour. That's our motorhome down there. Very spectacular view. And that's looking out south. And over here behind us on our left is Stewart Island, Rapiura. Heading out to the east, and there we have the full view. This is Oriti Beach, just west of Invercargill. It's the beach where the famous motorcycle speed racer Burt Munro tested his bike before he went off to Bonneville Salt Flats. It's a very long, flat beach, perfect for that. It's also the inspiration for the film The Fastest Indian, which starred Sir Anthony Hopkins, I think. It's always worth a look because it's quite an interesting story about how he did it. He was quite old when he set some of the speed records, and he did it pretty much on a shoestring budget. And that's our motorhome up there. We're actually right out on the beach. The sand's really hard. As you can see, there's lots of other people here today. Just decided to stop at this little beach called Tihaka Beach, which is looking out onto Fovo Strait. In the distance is Rakiura, Stewart Island.
And we had a brief stop at this cute little bay with the equally cute name of Cozy Nook. Unfortunately, it wasn't very cozy on this day, so we only had a quick look and then moved on.
Here we are at Monkey Island. That up there is the parking space for Freedom Campers. It's a Saturday today, and it's also a very nice day, so there's lots of people on the beach.
Another view of Monkey Island just a little bit further along the beach to the east. Believed to be named Monkey Island after the name of the winch that used to haul the boats ashore. It's also known as Te Puka o Takitimu, as being the anchor stone of the legendary Takitimu waka. Further along the coast, heading west, is the small township of Oriti, where we stayed in the hotel car park for a couple of days. And then we went for a walk on down to Oriti Beach, down a very steep track.
Not sure how far we can get, but it's getting really steep down there. Oriti Beach, looking down towards Monkey Island.
From here, it was the start of our trip back home. Going through the lovely little town of Riverton, known as the Riviera of the South. And then we headed north through the small towns in Southland and South Otago towards our home base, which is near Christchurch. There are lots of places to visit around this area, but that will be for another time, as the prime reason for this visit was to get to the Catlins and have a good look around down there. This town is Mataura, and on the banks of the Mataura River is this building here, which is the old Mataura paper mill, finished in 1875. Throughout the early part of the 20th century, this building was very well known to New Zealanders. Creamy porridge was manufactured here using locally grown oats. Sadly, the factory closed in 2001. Off to our next stopover site, which was here at the Beaumont Hotel. Great facilities here, showers, toilets, etc., and nice meals as well. One place we'll definitely be back to is Lawrence. This place is part of the gold digging history back in the 1880s. This town and the area around it has such a lot of history relating to the gold mining days of the 1880s, and it's definitely a town or area where you need to spend a bit of time having a good look around. More time than we have available to us on this trip, so we will definitely be back. Final stop on this journey, Moeraki Boulders. And this is the Red Barn, NZMCA POP site. We can freedom camp here for a small fee, and it's right on the beach. These are the famous Moeraki Boulders, large round rocks which have fallen out of the cliff over the years. They're known as concretions and they're a great tourist attraction.
This is what these boulders are made up of. It's obviously come down from the cliff. Unfortunately, it's broken on the way down. Not sure about this one. Wondered if it was actually real.
That's the end of part 4 of our visit to the Catlins. It's been an amazing 4 and a bit weeks away. If you haven't been, I certainly recommend it. There's plenty to do and see.